What's up, Periscope? Ty Crandall here with Credit Suite. Today we're talking about how to check your business credit scores with all three. So first of all, I want to apologize for being a little bit late to the scope. For those of you that come in regularly, you know I'm not one to be late. I'm always pretty accurately right at time, right about 4 o'clock. I got hung up in a really important meeting that I couldn't get out of. So again, my apology for being about 10 minutes late. I'm not one to be late for these. I did not forget, even though some of you, like Kevin, were kind enough to message me and remind me. I didn't forget about you. I just got caught up on another meeting. So my apology. I'm not one to usually be late for Periscope. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can get your business credit scores. We're going to talk about Experian, Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, what you need to know, what kind of things you're going to get on your reports, the easiest, best, most affordable way to check these reports. So this way you can get them. Because look, if you're going to build your business credit, you need the most affordable way to be able to do so. So today we're going to talk about how you can get access to your credit monitoring, because you're going to need so. Hey, everybody, welcome. Jerome, thanks for saying, hey, welcome to the call. So the bottom line is, if you're going to build business credit, you have to get credit monitoring. You have to get credit monitoring because, again, it's necessary while you build business credit. And Mary, welcome. First day on Periscope. Thanks for spending it with us. So today's very important because you can't get around it. If you're going to build business credit, you have to be able to monitor your business credit reports. And to be honest, managing or monitoring your business credit reports is just as important to your business as monitoring your consumer credit reports is. So this is another reason it's so important. So let's go to the whiteboard, take a look, and start walking through this process. Let me grab my marker here. Okay. Today, we're talking about how to check your business credit scores with all three of the reporting agencies. So let's talk about Dun & Bradstreet. So when we talk about Dun & Bradstreet, what we're talking about is we're talking about the biggest of the three biggest reporting agencies. How big are they? They have about 230 million records on file. Experian's the second closest with 20 million. So that's a pretty big jump. They have 200 million more records on file for businesses than Experian does, which is the next closest. So they are by far the biggest business credit reporting agency. Now, while we're on Dun & Bradstreet, a lot of people are still new to the concept of business credit. Some people don't even think it's legitimate. Well, Dun & Bradstreet's been around since 1841. 5 U.S. presidents have worked for them. They're the only company in the world that 5 U.S. presidents have worked for. So Dun & Bradstreet's been around 40 years before the first consumer reporting agency existed. So keep this in mind. Commercial credit reporting was around well before consumer credit reporting even existed. And this all started with Dun & Bradstreet many years ago, back in 1841. So again, what you're going to do with Dun & Bradstreet, you get no Dun & Bradstreet number, no DUNS number, no D&B records. So you've got to get a DUNS number set up with Dun & Bradstreet. If you don't do this, then what happens is then you're in a situation where D&B will not populate an actual credit report for you. And I've seen this happen. I've seen somebody actually get accounts that report to D&B and then not understand why they don't have a report with D&B. Well, that's because you can't get a report without a DUNS number. Dun & Bradstreet will not populate their PAYDEX credit score unless you have the actual DUNS number. So the PAYDEX score really talks about your payment history of how you paid your accounts that report to Dun & Bradstreet. Well, in order to get a PAYDEX score, you have to get your DUNS number. It's free. You can Google free DUNS number. You can also go to creditsuite.com/reports. And at creditsuite.com/reports, you can follow the prompts to go through and get set up with Dun & Bradstreet. Now, you want to monitor, and when you monitor with Dun & Bradstreet, they have something called Credit Signal, which will alert you when updates take place to your report. You can actually get that for free. There's no cost for that. And Credit Builder Plus, there is a cost for it. It's about $159. So I'm going to show you a cheaper way to get this as well. And your credit report shows liens, judgments, lawsuits, industry data, all kinds of information. So if you're going to monitor your business credit, Dun & Bradstreet's the one you want to do because they're one of the most popular that accounts report to. So you want to make sure that as you're getting accounts that report to the reporting agencies, that they actually show on your reports, which is what your Dun & Bradstreet reports will do. Now, I'm going to show you a cheaper way to do it because if you go right to Dun & Bradstreet, you're going to pay $159 a month. That ain't cheap. Remember, Credit Signal, where you can get alerted of changes to your credit report, are free. Of course it is. They want to give you the alerts to tell you something changed, to prompt you to buy credit monitoring to see what changed. So that's how it actually works. So remember to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. It's free to do. Also remember, If you get your DUNS number, they will try to upsell you. They will try to upsell you to their credit builder program. They may even tell you that they won't activate your credit profile and all kinds of things without paying them. That's not necessarily accurate. You absolutely can get your credit reports populated with Dun & Bradstreet without paying them a dime. Also keep in mind with your DUNS number that when you check out, they give you an option to expedite for $50. From what we've seen, that usually means you get it in less than 2 weeks. If you don't pay to expedite your DUNS number, you're going to get it in about 3 to 4 weeks, so you can expect to wait that. Take a look at Experian. Experian's the second biggest business credit reporting agency, and their reports show judgments, UCC filings, payment trends, public records. They show your credit history, all different types of things. And you're also going to see this IntelliScore Plus, which predicts business failure chance. And you also want to monitor with what they call their Business Credit Advantage or their Profile Plus plans. Now, I'll see if I can pull up an actual report. I can't pull reports today because I no longer have the ability to pull Experian reports, but I will show you what some of these reports look like. So with Experian, it costs about $50 a month to be able to monitor your business credit. Much cheaper than you're going to pay with Dun & Bradstreet, who's actually charging you $159 a month. So let me pull up a credit report, and I'll kind of show you a little bit more about what these credit reports look like with Experian. So this, for example, is our commercial credit reports with Experian. You can see oftentimes what's on an Experian report. So you'll see your business information, and just so you know, I don't care if you see this because we pull these live. Every one of these was pulled live on Periscope where people gave us permission, and it's public information if not. Look at Kevin going crazy with the Super Hearts working for you, LLC. I love it. Okay, so here's the credit limit recommendation. Here's why you need to keep up with your business credit reports. Your scores will determine the rates and terms you'll pay, and they even tell you, all reporting agencies say, how much you should actually be approved for. Okay, so your credit reports say how much you should be approved for. The credit profile and score you have will also be used to determine if you should actually get approved and how much you should get approved for. I can't check your credit reports because I no longer have the ability to do so. Experian realized that we work with credit building, and they won't let anybody that has anything to do with business credit monitoring or building actually have the ability to pull reports. So unfortunately, guys, I can't pull your reports today because I no longer have the ability to. I'm just reviewing an older report so to see what's on there when you do pull them. Okay, so you're going to see alerts here of things that have changed. You're going to see the IntelliScore Plus, which I just showed you, which shows basically where you actually rank in regards to risk, low risk or high risk, and there's even a descriptor of it. And there's even factors here where we can see the factors that affected your adverse score. We can see quarterly trends where your score has been over time, and thank you guys very much for going crazy on the loves. We have the financial stability risk score, okay, and what this has to do is it determines your risk of going bankrupt. And we can see here very high risk, which is a bad thing. And again, we see the factors that affect that risk. Again, we see the financial stability risks quarterly trends. This is a summary section. It looks the same on all Experian reports. It tells you exactly how much trade lines you have, how many UCC filings, etc. Here's actual trade payment data right here. So we can see trade payment data, and then we can also see UCC filings. These are loans you have. So if somebody tells you they report the loan to the business credit reporting agencies, what you need to ask is, do they report your payment history like you see here as a trade payment, or do they just report the UCC filing? Trade payments calculates your score, UCC filings don't. UCC filings don't hurt your score. It's just a way for somebody looking at the report to see that you have an outstanding loan. That's what UCC filings are for, okay? And then you can come down here and you can see details of the UCC filing, and we see inquiries right here. We can see whenever you have inquiries. This is a standard report with Experian. Score, summary of how much you should get approved for, alerts, IntelliScore, the main score you care about, factors affecting it, quarterly trends. Are you going to go bankrupt? Factors they use to determine that, quarterly trends, summary info, days beyond term is what DBT stands for, the trade accounts you have, okay? And on top of that, the UCC filings you have, and the UCC filing is right, is a typical Experian report. And I am going to look real quick and just see if I do have a D&B report here as well but I'm not exactly sure if I can pull that up or not. So I'm going to look real quick and see if I have that. If not, I will try to go through and see if I could do that. So that's what an Experian report actually looks like. And D&B and Equifax look very much the same. So they really look the same. I'm trying to look real quick here without holding you up too much to try to see if I can pull an actual D&B report to see if I have a D&B report to show you or not. So hopefully if you're patient with me, I will do that. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the meantime, because I want to show you a D&B report as well, but I didn't think to pull one up before I actually started this. So, okay, here's a credit report. I think this is D&B. Okay, so let's take a look at a D&B credit report. So here is a D&B credit report right here. And so here's a D&B credit report. Okay, we can see here the overall business risk is low. We can see factors that affected that risk. Again, we see the amount of recommended credit. So guys, this is important because you need to understand that all credit reporting agencies recommend to lenders and credit issuers how much you should be approved for. If you don't build your business credit, then the problem is that this number will be very low. It's usually $1,000 or $0. We see here other scores, the viability score. Okay, we see here the description of the score, factors affecting the score. Okay, we see cash flow risk. We see factors affecting that and trends, payment behavior. Okay, and then we also look at this. We see revenues. Okay, from this company, they don't know the revenue. We see the peers in the same industry. We see numbers of employees and age of business. And again, you're looking to competitors. So what they're doing is they're looking at other people in the same industry to see how those people actually compare to the actual subject company. And I'm going to come over here and see if I can pull up something else here too while we're doing this to show you another kind of report as well. Top 5 starter vendors, how to use Build Business Credit. We just did a webinar on the top 5 vendors. So go to youtube.com/credit suite. We just did a full hour-long webinar on that exact same topic. And we will be going over that in the weeks to come next month as well. Okay, so then we see inquiries here. We see tax liens, UCC filings, judgments, etc. Okay, we see the highest amount past due. And then we start to see we see kind of more information we've already seen. Then we start to see trade payments. So a summary of trade payments, a look at the total of the trade payments that are here, and we start to see the actual trade payments. Now remember, commercial credit reports don't tell you creditor names. What they do is they just tell you the actual industry that the company is in. We also see here the amount of the largest high credit limit used, how the bills were paid, etc., etc., etc. Legal events, if there's any public records or anything like that, we see that here as well. And then we also see down here a company profile information, and basically that's about it. So that is a D&B credit report. So you guys can see what an actual D&B credit report looks like as well. And I will show you one other thing here as we get, because I was just able to pull it up. So that's a look at what you're going to see if you get a full Experian or D&B credit report. Now let's take Equifax, and I got to go back because I think I just removed my own Sharpie here, marker. Okay, so Equifax shows loan and credit payments, trade credit, your credit risk scores, the main credit score with Equifax. Okay, predicts your chances of going late, and you can monitor it right through their member center at Business Credit Monitoring. Now, to make this easy for you guys, is this where they make the, that's awesome. Okay, Butter. Okay, so I'm going to let you hang out. I think, Butter, Stotch, I think that you're a troll, and I think we're going to have to boot you, but I'm going to let you hang out just to check it out and see. Okay, so Equifax is the small business risk score, is their main score. And if you want Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian and Equifax, you can go to creditsuite.com/reports to get all 3. You can also go to creditsuite.com/monitoring to be able to get a cheaper option as well. So the other option here is to go through Nav. Now with Nav, you can go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, and you're basically getting business credit reports and getting 1 million of business identity theft protection, and it's a lot cheaper than these other guys. You can actually be less than $30 a month if you go this way. Now, Nav reports do look a little bit different. Now, we integrate with Nav right in our finance suite. So when you look at Nav reports, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see a score summary. You're going to see days beyond term summary. But I'm a corporate executive. Okay, so I think Butterscotch. I'm going to give you one last chance. We'll see if you're here to provide any value or just be a troll. Okay, so Dun & Bradstreet, we see a summary of the score. We can also come in and actually click on the report data and see all the actual report data. So we see the score here. We see business information, okay, and factors influencing the score. We also come in and we see here that days beyond term. We see trade line summary. So these are all summaries of judgments, public filings, etc. Tax lane, we see trade account totals right here. So this is all summary data when you're looking at a Nav report. We see UCC filings here, which are outstanding loans. And then we see the details on every trade account. So this is what it actually looks like if you're looking at a credit report through Nav versus the ones we looked at where you have the full report. Now, Dun & Bradstreet is much the same. So if you come here, you see a score summary here. We could see factors affecting the score as we can with Experian, even though I didn't show you that. We can also come in and we can look at each factor that affects the score and see overall summaries of that. Okay, and then we can also come in and actually see your report with Dun & Bradstreet. So it tells you your score. Okay, it also comes in, okay, all right, we're all equal on the interweb, working for you, LLC. And then information here, summary, lawsuit information's right here, UCC filings. Okay, and then as we come down, we see active trade summary, and we see all the active trades. So as you can see, this is kind of like a condensed version. It gives you everything that you're normally going to get from a regular credit report, but you don't have to pay for it. So if you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, you'll get the cheapest access to your credit reports with Nav. And in doing so, you're able to save a ton of money from actually paying to get your reports directly. If you go through D&B, it's $159 a month. If you go through Experian, it's $50 a month. If you go through Equifax, it's $20 a month. So because of that, that can really add up. Whereas Nav, you can get Experian and D&B for a hugely discounted price. I love Nav. We love Nav too. As you just saw, that was an integration to our finance suite. So we integrate directly with Nav so our customers can actually monitor their reports without paying the fee. Okay, so also keep in mind there's another one called Credit Safe. Okay, but with you guys, that's great. I appreciate that. Others, Credit Safe is another reporting agency. They have a standard and plus and premier packages. They'll also let you come in and get a free credit report. So Credit Safe, and we'll get this credit report for you too if you don't want it from them. They'll give you a free credit report, which is great. Does Nav generate their own number that may or may not vary from the actual bureaus? That's a great question, Jerome. By that, I mean this. They're not supposed to. All they do is they link on the back end directly to Experian and D&B. So it should be the exact same information. But we've seen that it's not. We've seen people that clearly come in and have different scores when they pull directly from D&B versus when they actually get it from Nav. I don't know what accounts for that. And if you ever see that, I'd go to Nav directly and ask them. Because what happens is Nav is supposed to integrate directly with D&B's back end. So what you see in real time with D&B should be what you see in real time with Nav. But I put a disclaimer in here because I have had people come in and say, look, what I'm seeing here is different than here. So it's supposed to be yes, but I have had some reports that what some people say that what they see is a little bit different. Credit.net. Report has UCC filings and has some news headlines about your industry example. Also has your credit scores. But remember, Credit.net, Credit Safe, not really popular options. So Credit Safe, we did a scope where and all we did was pull Credit Safe reports. And the problem is, and that's why I've been getting 9. Okay, the problem is that we've done these before when I had the ability to pull Experian, and we just asked people for the company names. We pulled the Experian reports, and we were able to pull reports for 70% of the people we looked at. When we came to Credit Safe and I did a live stream on Credit Safe, not one person we were able to pull a report from. Everybody had 0. And the reason for that is a lot of people don't yet report to Credit Safe. Credit Safe's trying to be big in the United States, but they're not big, which means a lot of people do not report to Credit Safe yet. So because of that, it's much harder to develop a credit profile and score for Credit Safe. Something to keep in mind, because more lenders and credit issuers are starting to look at Credit Safe. So it's something else you want to think about because, again, not a lot of people are reporting to them. So if you pull a Credit Safe report, you're not going to typically see the accounts that report to D&B, Equifax, and Experian. So if you're building business credit, my advice is to at least get access to D&B and Experian. You don't necessarily need Equifax. Credit Safe is a much cheaper option, but you're not going to see a lot of the accounts you get that will report to D&B and Experian that will show on Credit Safe. Credit Safe has a tendency to not show a lot of items items that are reported to the other reporting agencies. So something to keep in mind. Credit.net, CreditSafe. There's many credit monitoring services in the consumer and the business world other than the main ones. But the main ones are what you care about because that's what lenders and credit issuers are looking at to determine if you get approved. And as we just saw by looking at these credit reports, they clearly say your score, which determines your rates and terms, and how much you should be approved for. So the quality of your commercial credit reports will determine if you get a loan, the rate and term you get, and how much or how much you'll actually get approved for. And commercial credit reports solely account for whether or not you will get approved for business credit or not. So, creditsuite.com/reports. You could do a free check with all three reporting agencies to see if you have a report set up now and get your credit reports from there as well as your DUNS number. If you go to creditsuite.com/monitoring, you can get access to the cheapest credit monitoring that's out there to monitor your main two reports, which is our Experian and Equifax. You need to be monitoring your reports for a couple reasons. Firstly, anybody can see your business credit reports. Anybody who wants to can see them. And secondly, again, they determine if you'll get approved, solely determine if you'll get approved for credit cards, and are a big factor of determining if you'll get loans, the rates and terms you'll pay, and how much you'll get approved for. So, not going to be a long scope because I don't want to make this more complicated than it is. Now you know where to go to get your credit reports. You can go directly to the reporting agencies. You can go to creditsuite.com/reports where we've given you a shortcut for all three. You know about others like CreditNet.net, CreditSafe that you may see, but don't really require much focus from you because not a lot of people report to them. And at the same time, you also know about creditsuite.com/monitoring to go to Nav to get the absolute cheapest credit monitoring that you have. So I'm going to wrap that up. So next week and the weeks to come, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about a lot of ways to get loans. We're going to talk about best credit cards. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. And then as we go into next month, we're going to be talking about vendor accounts and other things you need to know to build your business credit. So I'm going to wrap this up. Before I go, I want to give you two links. creditsuite.com/Periscope. You can get a free guide on building business credit. And at creditsuite.com/Scope, you can get all of our previous Periscopes. So again, Periscope, it only makes them available for 24 hours. At creditsuite.com/Scope, we put all of them there. Go back to any of our teachings that teach you how to build business credit, etc., and access those. Working for You LLC, Kevin, thank you very much. Thanks for the super hearts. It's awesome that you do that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Tune in the weeks to come where we dive in more to actually the concrete action steps to build business credit, to get loans, and a lot of other things we're going to dive into. So I really appreciate you tuning in. Again, my apology for being about 10 minutes late. I got carried over in a meeting, and a special thanks to Kevin for reminding me. I didn't forget, I was just tied up, and I look forward to seeing you not next Wednesday. I will not be here next Wednesday. I will be here 2 Wednesdays from today. I will be out of town next Wednesday. I'm taking actually a rare break to head out with my wife to celebrate friends of ours' birthday in Las Vegas. So I'll be out of town next week, but I will see you not next Wednesday, but the week after, and I look forward to seeing you there. If you missed this, it'll be on Periscope Live for 24 hours. And don't forget, you can go to creditsuite.com/Scope to access all of our previous Periscopes. Travel safe. I appreciate that. Thank you for the loves. I appreciate it. Thank you for the shares. Thank you for the super hearts, Kevin. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2 Wednesdays from today at 4 o'clock Eastern here on Periscope. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.